Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Holly. And happy birthday to you, Lauren. Happy birthday to you, Cynthia. Anyone else? Please let us know in the chat room if today is your birthday. May your birthday be filled with joy. Today at our Sunday Live Dharma, Daniel Mattingly will give a talk about why do we practice, based on his contemplation on a passage from the chapter 7, the principle of one's true nature. Like Daniel, I hope you will consider our invitation to share a talk. This is a great opportunity to deepen your wisdom and to offer your generosity to the community. You could pick a passage from the chapters we are studying this year, or you can share the story of your spiritual journey. If you are interested in, please let us know. Now let us settle our minds and bodies by focusing deeply in our meditation. Let us begin with the Qi Gong practice, guided by Lars.
Good morning, friends. Let's get warmed up. Start loosening up our ankles. Let's rotate our ankles on the ground, one direction, and reverse. Change the other foot. And reverse that one. Okay, let's loosen up our hips, arms on our hips. Let's rotate our hips to one direction. First slowly and in small circles. Gradually getting bigger. And reverse. Starting off with big circles. Making them smaller and smaller. Okay, spread our arms. Let's warm up our arms. Rotate them in one direction. And also making the circles bigger and bigger as we go. Really big circles. And reverse. All right, let's stop. Let's grab our anxiety and worries and just shake it out. Just get really loose. Okay, we're all warmed up. Let's ensure our feet are hip width apart. Let's do one moon breath. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now we're going to pull heaven to earth. When we breathe in, we bring our arms all the way up. Breathe in. All the way up into the sky. Say good morning. And when we breathe out, we fold our waist and we pull heaven down to earth. All the way down. We grab our ankles from behind. Breathe in. Pull your torso towards your legs. Squat and slowly come up while we breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Grab your ankles. Breathe in. Squat and breathe out. Slowly come back up. Now we breathe into our back. Breathe in and try to look behind you. Really arch the back. And we breathe out. Come forward. Slowly stack your vertebrae on top of each other. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And breathe out. Now transition to tortoise gazes over shoulder. We breathe in, arms come up, chest tight. And when we breathe out, we squat and look behind our shoulder. Still breathing out and come back up. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. White stork takes flight. Feet together. It's called pin boo. We breathe in and our arms become feathers. Breathe in, raise on your tippy toes. And breathe out, take a flight. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Breathe in. And out. Feet back hip width apart. Breathe in. Raise our arms to the side. All the way to the top. Join our palms together and breathe out. One more time, breathe in. And breathe out. Now please join us in bowing practice to the Dharmakaya Buddha Fourfold Grace.
With gratitude, I bow to the grace of heaven and earth, honoring the infinite source of marvelous existence. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of parents, ancestors, and everyone who has given me life and nurtured me. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of fellow beings, embracing the truth of interconnectedness. With gratitude, I bow to the grace of laws, which guide us to develop justice and freedom through Dharma and universal principles. Meditation is simple and easy. Anyone can practice it. Please take time to find your most comfortable position on the floor or in a chair. Now wiggle to release any tension in your body. Rock front to back or side to side like the pendulum of a grandfather clock until you find the point of perfect balance. Breathe in, grab all your tension. Breathe out, release any mental or physical uneasiness. Relax your whole body. It is okay to slouch a little bit if that feels more natural. Just remember to let your mind's eye focus on belly breathing. Breathe and listen to your body. If your body agrees, gradually sit up tall. Gently straighten your spine without losing focus on the energy in your lower abdomen. You may start to feel your lower back growing stronger and your chest and heart opening. Now open your eyes softly and look straight ahead with a level gaze. Without moving your head or eyes, let your eyelids relax and drift downward to their most comfortable place. While keeping your ears softly aligned with your shoulders, tuck your chin in slightly and let your shoulders melt away from your ears. Enjoy the sensation of your arms and hands relaxing. Now bring your awareness to your tongue. Place the tip of your tongue on the roof of your mouth. While your tongue is relaxed on your palate, pure and clear saliva may gather in the mouth. This is a delightful sign of cool energy ascending. Smile at your calm and clear spirit. Invite your awareness to return to your lower abdomen, your Qi energy field. This is called the Danjan and is located about 2 inches below your navel. Your Danjan is the power center for your breathing. Scan your entire body to see if there is any tension, especially in your face and head, neck, and shoulders. If your face or body begins to itch, simply note the itching and let it pass. If your legs ache unbearably, you may change position very slowly and quietly so that you maintain a calm stillness. When thoughts arise in your mind, do not be disturbed by them. Do not react to your thoughts or pursue them. Recognize them as just thoughts. They will disappear by themselves. Continue to bring your awareness back to your Danjan abiding breath. When your mind is calm, concentrated, perfectly focused, and at peace, you will rest in the realm of samadhi, deep meditation. You will no longer feel any distinction between yourself and others, finding yourself free from the limits of time and place. We are grateful to sit quietly together, finding the still point within. May we be here now, deeply aware of our ever calm, ever alert spirit. 영주 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정 전지영기야 심정 만사여외야 심정 전지여와 동일체 아요 전지동 심정.
Prayer for world peace. Grace of heaven and earth, grace of parents, grace of fellow beings, grace of laws. O Dharmakaya Buddha, fourfold grace, may we take refuge in Dharma and be filled with compassion and wisdom. May we transform delusion into wisdom, greed into generosity, resentment into gratitude, discord into harmony, and hatred into compassion. May all nations grow and benefit mutually. May the strong help the weak, and may the weak learn and evolve according to Dharma. May all those who have died from world conflicts and disasters be delivered through all obstacles and be at rest. May there be peace throughout the world, and may all beings enjoy tranquility and happiness, living in their original true nature. This we pray with our whole hearts.
Samadhi beyond words and speech, the gateway of birth and death, transcending being and non-being, the origin of heaven and earth, parents, fellow beings, and laws, the true nature of all Buddhas, enlightened masters, unenlightened people, and sentient beings, still manifest as both permanence and impermanence, viewed as permanent, still one unfolds into
decay and extinction of the universe, and the birth, aging, illness, and death of all beings, according to how we use our minds and bodies. In the four forms of birth we transform through the 6 realms of existence, progressing or regressing, with grace arising from harm or harm from grace. Therefore we unawakened beings vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after you once on the Dharma Buddha, by cultivating our minds and bodies deeply, knowing human affairs and universal principles thoroughly, and using our minds and bodies skillfully, thus progressing rather than regressing, and receiving grace rather than harm, until we attain the great empowerment of Yuan and become one with the nature of Yuan.
Today, our dear Dharma friend, Daniel Mattingly, will give his Dharma talk titled, Why Do We Practice? At the end of his Dharma talk, please leave your thoughts and takeaways in the live chat. Now, please welcome Daniel.
Good morning. My name is Daniel Mattingly. I joined the temple a little over 2 years ago, about the time most of the temple programs went online due to the pandemic. So I've probably met some of you through some of the Zoom programs, and some of you may have recognized me from some of those same programs. I'm very much looking forward to meeting all of you, hopefully in the not too distant future, when it's once again safe to meet together indoors and to be in person. So this morning, I would like to talk about our original nature, our true nature. In the scripture of the Founding Master, chapter 7, Master Sote-san talks about the importance of getting to know one's original true nature. The Founding Master said, "The reason a person cultivating the way endeavors to see the nature is to know the original realm of the nature, and by using one's mind and body without fault like that realm, to achieve perfect Buddhahood." So, according to this, when we see the nature, when we experience our original true nature firsthand, we will know the original realm of the nature, which is Il-Wan. We'll see that our true nature is not separate or different from Il-Wan. We'll know that our nature, our true nature, is Il-Wan. We'll see that who and what we really are is as perfect and complete as Il-Wan, just the way we are right now. The text goes on to say, with our eyes opened to this reality of who and what we really are, we'll be able to use our minds and bodies without fault like that realm to achieve perfect Buddhahood. This message is echoed in the Il-Wan Song vow, which says, "We vow to practice wholeheartedly, modeling ourselves after Il-Wan Song." To practice wholeheartedly means to use our minds and bodies skillfully. Modeling ourselves after Il-Wan Song means to model our practice on that realm that is without fault, which is Il-Wan. The Il-Wan Song vow goes on to say, "Until we attain the great empowerment of Il-Wan and become one with the nature of Il-Wan." This is another way of saying, until we achieve perfect Buddhahood. Now, I don't know about you, but my first reaction to this is that it sounds pretty far-fetched and pretty unattainable for this ordinary human in this lifetime. But if I pause for a moment and remind myself that things are often not as they appear, my curiosity kicks in, and I'm drawn to take a closer look. So I invite you to close your eyes for a moment and imagine that you're an average middle-class person going along in your life. You have an average job and make average pay. You live in an average house in an average neighborhood. And like most other middle-class people, you're careful how you spend your money. You make sure not to waste money, and you try to spend it wisely so that you can afford the things that are important to you and make sure you have enough for retirement. Now, imagine that one day you find out that you're actually quite wealthy. Unbeknownst to you, you are very, very rich, and you're just now finding out about it. You're absolutely blown away when you learn that a huge sum of money has actually belonged to you all along, but you had no knowledge of it. You breathe a huge sigh of relief when you realize that you no longer have to worry about not having enough money. Now you know that you'll be able to live comfortably for the rest of your life without financial stresses or struggles. You're thrilled and beaming with joy and excitement about the possibilities that lay before you. In chapter 7, verse 8, Master Sote-san says, that's what it's like to experience one's original true nature for the first time. He said, seeing the nature is like a millionaire who, without realizing that his assets are his own, one day eventually comes to realize that fact. Here's how I imagine this scenario. We ordinary human beings go along through our ordinary conditioned lives, bouncing up and down, back and forth between happiness and suffering, pleasure and pain, knowing that what lies ahead is more suffering, old age, sickness, and death. And then one day, it's as if we take off a pair of glasses with muddy lenses. Now, for the first time in our lives, we see everything with a clarity and sharpness and vividness that makes it seem like we were previously living in a bad movie or a bad dream. We begin to see that the reality of the world and everything in it is actually quite different from how we saw it before. Like the person who discovered they were very wealthy, we are overjoyed to know who and what we really are, and tremendously relieved to see the path that leads to the end of our suffering and to complete peace so clearly laid out in front of us that we don't know how we could have missed it before. In the second part of verse 8, the founding master goes on to say, commanding the nature is like a millionaire who now realizes that fact, but who for some time has lost those assets to others during the days of his ignorance, and therefore resorts to various means to recover the rights he'd lost. Commanding the nature is another way of saying using one's mind and body without fault like that realm to achieve perfect Buddhahood. Going back to our scenario, it turns out that our vast wealth has become scattered around in various places over the years when we didn't know that it was ours. So now we need to begin to recover what belongs to us. We need to realize our Buddhahood. To put it another way, commanding the nature means to use our minds and bodies skillfully to realize our full potential. This brings us full circle back to where we began with chapter 7, verse 7, where the founding master talks about the reason that we endeavor to see the nature. And this brings us to the title of this talk. Why do we practice? As we saw in the first passage this morning, the founding master said that the reason to practice is to experience our true nature, model ourselves on our true nature, and thereby achieve perfect Buddhahood. He felt so strongly about this that he went on to say, if one only tries to see one's nature, but not to achieve Buddhahood, this would be of little use, like an axe that is well crafted, but made of lead. To say that practicing is of little use unless one's goal is to attain Buddhahood seems like a very strong statement, and it strikes me in an odd way. What if we don't really think it's possible to attain Buddhahood? How can we try to achieve something that we don't really believe in? What if the reason we practice is to be a happier and nicer person and to have a better life and help others, but without trying to do what seems impossible? If this is our reason for practicing, how can our practice be of little value? Well, when I finally paused and took a closer look at Master Sotaesan's actual words, he doesn't say we need to achieve Buddhahood or that we even need to believe it's possible. What he says is this: if we experience our true nature, we'll know that we can stop creating suffering for ourselves and others, and we'll know how to have complete peace. And if we know these things and then don't use them to try to realize our potential, it would be a waste. An athlete knows they will never have a perfect performance record. No matter how hard they try, they'll never achieve perfection. But that doesn't stop them from having a goal, an ideal, a vision of perfection that they aspire to. Modeling their performance on a vision of perfection during practice helps them to achieve greater success in their sport. And a good coach strives to guide and motivate them to help them maximize their success. Using this analogy, we don't have to believe that we can achieve supreme enlightenment in order to make progress on our path. But having a vision of perfect Buddhahood to aspire to will make a huge difference and help us to achieve much greater success. In fact, it might even be necessary to ensure that we don't get sidetracked down an unwholesome dead end. As to why the founding master chose to use such strong wording, maybe he just wanted to make sure that he got our attention the way a good coach would. I know it worked for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel, for your very thoughtful talk. It reminded me of really, and you really described well, like what it would feel like to really see the nature. And I could really feel like a lot of thoughts really went into this talk, and I think it really resonated with me, and I think it resonated with many others as well. And thank you, dear friends, for your focused listening. And now in the live chat, please feel free to leave your thoughts and takeaways, or you may simply enjoy a few minutes of silent reflection. Thank you for joining us today. We hope to see you next week.